السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، نحمده ونشكره ونتوب إليه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا، إنه من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد، ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. اللهم اجعلنا من الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَى أُمَمٍ مِّن قَبْلِكَ فَأَخَذْنَاهُم بِالْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَضَرَّعُونَ فلولا إذ جاءهم بأسنا تضرعوا ولكن قست قلوبهم وزين لهم الشيطان ما كانوا يعملون. We will focus on today's khutbah on these two ayats, specifically to the second ayat. What is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying here? وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَى أُمَمٍ مِّن قَبْلِكَ. Verily Allah has sent messengers to the nations before you. فَأَخَذْنَاهُمْ بِالْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ, and seized them with hardship and affliction. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَضَرَّعُونَ, in hopes that they would humble themselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَلَوْلَا إِذْ جَاءَهُمْ بَأْسُنَا تَضَرَّعُوا. But why is it, subhanAllah, when the punishment of Allah, or the punishment of Allah came down to them, they didn't humble themselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَكِنْ قَسَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ, and their hearts became hardened. وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ, and Shaitan began playing with their heads, making them think that their actions are attractive, making them seem and think that their sins are beautifying these actions that they were doing. These are two verses, my brothers and sisters, we must ponder about in today's crisis with COVID-19. So they should have made dua at the time of calamity. They should have prayed in a state of tawbah and returned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But instead their hearts became hard. What does this mean? Meaning they saw sign after sign from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they remained heedless of Allah in the akhirah. And they were blind to reality. And now the question, which is the topic of today's khutbah. So, are we blind to what's going on today? Our lives before COVID-19, before the virus hit, wallahi, it was like an imagination, like a dream. We had the ability to walk in public freely. SubhanAllah, to be with our friends and family freely, to shake our brothers' hands, to hug our brothers, to kiss our family members and our brothers and sisters. We had the ability to go to the airport and travel. Economic success before the virus. Everything that I just listed, everything has been taken from us. Everything has been taken by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the matter of just seconds. In a matter of just seconds, mere seconds. And in these matters of seconds, immediately the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came down. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed us His power. How quickly did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show how weak the creation is, how weak we are. How quickly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala proved how we are al-da'if and He is al-qawi. How we are weak and He is strong. How quickly did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show us how we are al-faqir, the poor one, and He is al-ghani, the rich one. How quickly did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show us how weak and unstable our technology is. How quickly did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show us, subhanAllah, that these medical and these technological advancements, they are nothing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in front of the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How quickly was all of this demonstrated, my brothers and sisters? And like we said, subhanAllah, the life before the virus, wallahi, like an illusion, imagination. Because now we are living a completely different lifestyle. Completely different lifestyle. And we do not even have the knowledge of when this will change. Our leading doctors don't even know when we will find this cure, the vaccine to this virus. We do not even know what life will be like after the virus, post-COVID. Instead of humbling ourselves, our hearts have become hardened. We become hard-hearted people. And subhanAllah, our hearts after this or during this crisis, they're supposed to become soft. Soft, not hard. Because subhanAllah, this virus, maybe it's a punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to recognize that we have sinned and transgressed against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We recognize, or we must recognize, that as a society we have failed. As Muslims we have failed. As people we have failed. For too long in this world, too much injustice has been taking place. Throughout the world, when subhanAllah, when we see the issues of racism, when we see and we look at issues, bigotry and hatred, when we see innocent people dying around the world, starvation, homelessness, subhanAllah, this existing in our very own Muslim communities. In our very own Muslim communities. Racism. In our own Muslim communities. Hatred and bigotry. Because he's white and he's brown and he's black. Or because I'm from this country and he's from this country. SubhanAllah, starvation in our own communities. So how can we consider ourselves Muslim if we have abundant wealth, we have enough wealth, but subhanAllah, there are people in our communities suffering. They don't have food to eat. And I'm not talking about a global issue. My brothers and sisters, I'm talking about a community issue. Because how can we serve the issues of the entire world when we fail to address the issues in our own communities? How can we defeat starvation in Africa or help our brothers and sisters in China or Sudan or Palestine or Yemen when there's starvation existing in our communities? When there are some people, they don't have clothes to put on their backs. How can we call ourselves Muslims if this exists in our own communities? We cannot solve worldly problems, but subhanAllah, we fail to solve community problems. And subhanAllah, the benefit, at least us being Muslims, and sharing the kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, we have to realize these issues and turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The fact of the matter is, my brothers and sisters, coming back to the crisis that we're living in, every single one of us knows someone suffering from this virus, either a friend or family member. Every single one of us knows someone who's suffering from this virus, from this disease. And there is no cure to this virus, as we know. It's killing, subhanAllah, killing people we know, killing people we love. It's spreading at a ridiculously quick pace. SubhanAllah, which is the reason what makes this virus so different from every other disease. Because the rate that it spreads, SubhanAllah, the quickness of how fast this virus spreads. And SubhanAllah, we don't even know. Even we can wear a mask and hand sanitize and wash our hands, we still do not know who will, subhanAllah, be inflicted with this virus. And the worst part is, the saddest part is, after knowing all of these things which we just mentioned, there are still some people from the Muslims, their hearts are still hard. After knowing everything I just mentioned, there are still people, brothers and sisters, that we know their hearts are still hard. The crisis failed to soften their hearts. The crisis is supposed to soften your heart. There are still people, after seeing everything that's happened, they are not turning back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So subhanAllah, it's just a question. What will it take for us to wake up? What will it take for us to wake up and realize we have to turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The solution and the shifa lies in turning back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every single one of us individually needs to have this intention to turn back to Allah Azza wa Jalla. This is an important point I would like to stress for this one. our lives, our lifestyles, spiritually cannot, for al-mu'min, for the believer, the lifestyle of a believer cannot be the same now as it was before the virus, before the crisis. It is impossible for a believer to live through a hardship or a crisis or a trial, and subhanAllah, he, at the end of the virus, not turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How can our prayers not be more in quantity after this virus, during this virus? How can our dua, our invocation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not be increased during the times of today? How can our recitation of the Quran not increase today? Our sadaqah, our charity, not be increased today? How can we see everything that's going on with our situation of the crisis today and us not increase in our iman, in our faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله ولكم ولسائر المسلمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. So 3 things to review what we spoke from ayah فلولا إذ جاءهم بأسنا تضرعوا ولكن قست قلوبهم وزين لهم الشيطان ما كانوا يعملون. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends upon us, afflicts us with some hardship, تضرعوا. If you can, inshallah, just keep the mask over your nose. Barakallah feek. May Allah make it easy. And inshallah, put us in a time where we don't need these, inshallah. Ameen. So when calamity strikes, we turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is for number 1. When calamity strikes, we turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with humbleness, with humility. This virus, the function, one of the purposes of this virus is to humble ourselves. SubhanAllah, the entire world has changed due to something we cannot even see. You know? Everything that's happening now is something that we can't, due to something we can't see with our naked eye. We need a special microscope, an electron microscope to see this. This is what changed everything. SubhanAllah, humbling ourselves before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is number 1. Number 2, the hearts have to soften. وَلَكِنْ قَسَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ. No. The hearts should not harden, because this is not a sign of belief. They must soften. وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. And our lifestyle, our actions cannot be the same before the crisis, before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent this crisis upon us. No way that the believer, his lifestyle and his actions or her actions can be the same before the crisis. If all of this happens, and then death comes to us, so then we say this is a death we are willing to accept, the death of a shaheed, of a martyr. Because the true loser is not the one who passes away due to the virus. I repeat, the loser is not the one who passes away because of the virus. But the loser, the real loser, is the one, at times like this, he doesn't turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The real loser is the one who remains to be blind to what's happening to him. Now, this is the true loser. And the winner is the one who turns back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the time of crisis. And he increases his prayers. His salah, his zakah, his sadaqah, his charity, his dua. This is the true winner. Even if he or she passes away to the virus. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of the winners of this life and the hereafter. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us shifa. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers, and our children, and our communities. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم إنا نسألك الجنة الفردوس ونعوذ بك من النار. اللهم اشف مرضانا، اللهم اشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر. الله يعلم.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استقيموا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. ولقد أرسلنا إلى أمم من قبلك فأخذناهم بالبأساء والضراء لعلهم يتضرعون. فلولا إذ جاءهم بأسنا تضرعوا ولكن قست قلوبهم وزين لهم الشيطان ما كانوا يعملون. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. فلما نسوا ما ذكروا به فتحنا عليهم أبواب كل شيء حتى إذا فرحوا بما أوتوا أخذناهم بغتة فإذا هم مبلسون. فقطع دابر القوم الذين ظلموا والحمد لله رب العالمين. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.